Yeah, I gotta look at Winkle's wants here. What does Winkle care about?
Probably drugs.
And Winkle tells you that she'll do it, but in return, she needs you to do something for her. She needs you to. There's this guy, some guy, been hovering around her place, and she's afraid. She thinks that this guy has designs on her and hers. And all she's got is a description of him. It says he comes around most every night, stares at my door for a few minutes, then leaves. And I don't like the way he stares, and I want something done about that.
Perfect. This is exactly the kind of thing I'm good at. No, I tell her consider it done. She spend the night up, and I tell her where I want her to be. Keep eyes on the absolved. Tell her or report back the comings and goings of the cult. And I will spend the evening in her place waiting for this guy to come and stare through the door.
All right, let's get back to the void then. Or to the void.
The void.
Wow, that changed really quickly. What's the void been up to ever since she found out that Tao had it in for a couple of her people?
So my first question is Tao the warlord of this town or somewhere nearby, or like where is Tao located?
Tao lives in this town because
Okay.
Domino lives in this town, and so does Cam. And
Okay,
they
so
both-
Tao
they
is
both
Tao
report
in
to him.
is Tao in control of this town, or
Tao is in as much control as anybody has over this town. It's Tao's.
okay? Is there? I guess. Oh, let me see here. Trying to figure out if there's a good question to ask here. Like, is there somebody who the voice would know to talk to either get access to Tao or to ask questions about what Tao has been up to?
Well, this is two different things. If you want access to Tao, you can just try going up to his place and talking
Oh
to the
yeah,
guards and
that
say,
doesn't
"This is
sound
what I
so
want."
smart though. That sounds like it might not be a good idea.
If you're trying to get sub rosa information on Tao, there's a bunch of other different things you can do.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm going to want to get some information on Tao. Probably, I don't know, there's probably some cult members that I've picked up around town that I could go and ask about what do you know about Tao? I heard that he ordered those two kids in the cult killed. Like, why do you think that he would want to do that? Like that'd be the question that I'd want to ask. I don't know, one or two, maybe some more followers that I've picked up around the area.
All right, you can ask them, or, and I'm just saying, you can ask the psychic maelstrom.
You know what? I'm thinking that the psychic maelstrom I was actually thinking that the psychic maelstrom may actually be a better way to get some information here. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. Let's make this as weird as possible. So I'm gonna open up my mind to the psychic maelstrom to try and, I guess, how does the psychic maelstrom work? Is it a connection of all people's minds in the world, or?
I'm actually gonna ask you that. So make your roll
Okay.
first.
Okay, I'm gonna roll first then. All right, psychic maelstrom is plus weird, of course.
So you get an
right.
advancement point for rolling on this.
Yeah, so I rolled a 9.
Okay. So you open your mind to the second maelstrom, and what's that like for you? What happens when you do this? What sorts of impressions do you get?
So I think that when the voice opens its mind to the psychic maelstrom, what it sees is it sees really strong desires or needs of people around it or in the area, if like in a wider area, if they're strong enough. And it can use that information to persuade or convince them to join its crazy ass cult.
But what's the actual experience like?
The actual experience of it?
So,
I don't know.
You say like you see the desires. How do the desires manifest themselves?
That's an excellent question. I imagine it's sort of like the crazy ass psychic experience in 2001. You see sort of this tunnel of light that leaves an impression upon the voice about what's going on around it, and specific people that those feelings are associated to. It's very abstract in a way. But the voice has been doing this so long, and has enough skill at reading these, they can kind of figure out what these feelings are and who they're attuned to.
Okay. So you open your mind to the psychic maelstrom, and you're thinking about Tao as you're doing this, and you're trying to figure out what do I need to know? What's an interesting thing that I need to know about Tao? And what you see is, let's see. You don't see Tao himself. You see kind of this flash. There's this bright tunnel, this multicolored things, and that's the part you're used to. And what you see otherwise is there's this very faint glimpse, this bright flash of a dirty man who's got a bullet wound in him, and he's walking, and he's crossing a line, and that's all you see. You see there's a line, and he sets one foot over, and he sets the other foot over, and you get the sense from this vision that once he's crossed that line, he's not coming back. And that's what you get about Tao.
Well, that doesn't tell me a whole lot about why Tao made this choice, but it is interesting. Do I recognize the scenery around this place? Have I been there before?
There's no place. There's no scenery.
Okay, so it's emptiness.
You see a man, and you see a line, and this man walks over the line, and he's not coming back.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, it sounds... Do I recognize the man at all?
No. You've no idea.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sure doesn't tell me much useful about what's going on with Tao, so I still have those questions that I started with.
You think about it?
Yeah, I certainly think that it doesn't. I don't have enough information to put it together with anything that I do know, which is Tao has ordered 2 of these followers dead. Mm-hmm. And so here's a question about the followers real quick. Were they from this town, or had they been traveling with me for a while?
Oh, those 2?
Yeah.
They were traveling with you for a while. They were not from this town.
Okay. So they've been so there's nothing that I would know offhand that would connect them to this place. No. Or to Tao.
No.
Okay. I guess that means it's time to ask around the people that I do know in my follower cult what they know about Tao, why he might want those 2 followers dead then. Like if he's been causing trouble for any of them lately, if he's been causing trouble for them, I guess that's mostly what it is. Why is there anything about these specific kids, and has he just been causing guff for us in general lately?
Okay. So you ask Princey and Look. There's 2 of your cult members.
All right.
I'm gonna write their names down so I don't forget them. Because they're new recruits. They came from this town, which I have not named yet. And shame on me, but I will. And they shrug and say, "Those kids, hell if I know. As far as I can tell, they never did nothing to nobody. I mean, nothing good and nothing bad. I don't know why we kept them around."
Okay.
Why did you keep them around? And
that's a good question. Were these kids? Sorry, go ahead.
No, they're asking you.
Oh, why did I keep those kids around? I imagine that those kids were, like everyone else. Everyone is welcome to join, no matter what. Those kids probably joined because, I don't know, maybe their parents joined, or maybe they were both lepers and they just wanted to hang around some other lepers. I don't think that they were probably not the members of the cult that were like too into the party thing. I mean, they're a little bit young for that. But
yeah, the kid that Princey sniffs and snorts says, "Young for that, my butt." They took our drugs, sure enough. Didn't contribute anything in return. Bunch of greedy little layabouts.
Hey, all are welcome.
Look at me. We do things for this cult. We help you. Those kids weren't doing nothing.
What have you done for us lately?
And Princey looks all offended. What, I gotta justify myself now? You came asking for me for information. I'm telling you. That's what I've done for you lately. Ugh.
All right, that's fair.
All right, so let's see. So let's get back to Cam.
Yes.
You're on the other side now.
At our destination.
Yeah, you're at your destination. Hugo's not looking too good. Sun's okay. He seems fine. A little shaken, a little rattled, but I mean, not physically hurt. And you're at the destination, and this other car pulls up, and you're in the middle of nowhere. Like there's no one around at this destination you were told to go to. The only reason that you know you're there is because you remember this kind of like steel frame tower that's rusted and rotted and is just here and nobody knows why, but it's here and everyone knows it's here. And that's where you came, but it's not near anything. It's not near anybody. But another car pulls up, and again, three other people get out. One from the driver's seat, two from the back.
They're both still alive, right? It's particularly the one that's been shot. Hugo?
Your two? Yeah, they're still alive.
Okay.
One of them's looking kind of shaky, but he's still alive. He's not gonna die right this second. He needs some attention, but I mean,
okay.
Maybe they'll give him that on the other side. Maybe they won't. You've no idea.
I look at them and I say, "You know these guys?"
Who are you saying that to?
The Hugo and Son, I think you said their names were.
Yeah, Hugo and Son. And Son says, "No, we don't. That's the point."
The point?
Yeah, Son says. We go there, you take these two.
I sort of look at my potential new passengers up and down.
Okay. Your potential new passengers, one of them is wearing a hoodie, and he's got the hood up. It's really hard to see his face. The other one is a girl with a shaved head, and she's chewing on her fingernails. Young girl.
Like nervously or just out of habit? Is like I'm trying to discern.
She seems kind of nervous.
Okay. Where to? I say to the two of them.
And they look at you, or one of them, like you can't really tell whether the kid in the hoodie is looking at you or not. Mm-hmm. The young girl, her eyes snap up, startled. And she says, "Well, you're back, I guess. You know where we're going."
So back across.
Where you came?
God.
To town. We're his now.
I sort of curse and mutter underneath my breath that I have to drive through the territory again. All right, get in.
Well, you weren't told to. You're not sure that you have the time pressure here. You weren't told anything about this job, to be frank. You had no idea you were taking passengers back,
and I didn't really care.
Right, you didn't really care. Right now, you have no directive. You were told that you're supposed to take these two back with you. But that's just the other driver. What do you do?
What do I do? Yeah, I tell him to get in.
All right.
I tell him to mind the blood and the mess. I will be cleaning it as soon as possible.
And the ball girl gets on the other side of the car from the blood. She kind of like leans into the window away from it. The kid in the hoodie doesn't care. He sits right down in it. Slams the door behind him.
Once I see that they're in my car, I turn to the driver of the other car and I say, "I wasn't told anything about an exchange."
He shrugs and says, "It's up to your boy." If you don't like what he does and doesn't tell you, take it up with him, not me. I'm never going to see you again. Hell do I care?
I shrug.
Now I got places to be, so... And he salutes and drives away with the with Hugo and Son in his car.
Before I get back in, I assess the damage to the car, if any, because there was gunfire, so I'm figuring like there might be bullet holes and stuff.
Cosmetic at best.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like anything was seriously hit, apart from Hugo.
But poor Lance, man. Like, I shrug, get in my car, turn around, go back on through.
Okay. So you're going through and not around?
Yeah, if there's no time constraints, I'll go around.
Okay.
Especially since I wasn't aware that I was being told that there would be this is time sensitive, that there would be an exchange, and it's time sensitive. So I don't want any more damage to Lance.
You knew it was time sensitive. You didn't know that there was an exchange.
Yeah. So.
All right. So you go the long way.
I'll go the long way around. She's still nervous. He's not saying anything.
Not unless you try to talk to him. Do you care about these kids enough to talk to him? And if so, like, what are you asking him?
Nah. Don't ask him anything.
So you make the whole ride in silence then.
Yep.
All right. So you've got a couple of people in your car you know nothing about, and have made no attempt to get any information about.
This is probably not the first time that this has happened.
Okay.
So, yeah. Unless she's nervous to try and talk to me, which I assume she's not.
She's totally in her head right now. She's kind of withdrawn. She's not even looking at the other kid.
Okay. And the only thing I know about the other kid is that he's got a hoodie.
Yep.
But they don't look dangerous, they don't look threatening. They don't look like they're about to shit all over my car. Like they're so nervous they lose their bowels or anything like that.
Nah. They're not gonna mess up your car, it doesn't seem like.
Good. Alright. Then it's a quiet car ride.
Alright, so the three of you drive in silence the long way around. And
I'm listening to the roar of the engine, and it is a beautiful sound to me. I love it when
you listen to the roar of the engine, the calling of the birds overhead, which aren't quite eagles and aren't quite vultures. You've seen around, but they're you don't like the look of them. They mean nasty things, and they're circling overhead. Probably something has died nearby. Not really your place to go and find out what it is.
Not my
but
thing.
it's a long ride, and you're
fine.
a bit low on gas at the end.
I was about to say, like, yeah, there's...
You probably could not have made this trip going the long way around both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Going the long way around one way is okay, but you're low. You're very low at the end.
I mean, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So what do you do? You got these kids in your car. He's waiting for you, right inside the compound limits when you drive up.
I pull up, I get out, and I open the door to I open each of their doors to let them out. Individual.
Right.
Like a good chauffeur-ish type person.
So they get out, and Tao looks him over and nods, and he looks to you. Any problems?
Well, one of the fools was shot on the way there. Messed up my car.
How bad?
There's blood, plus he was naturally dirty and disgusting.
I didn't care about the blood, and I don't care about your car. How bad was the kid hit?
He'll live.
He'll live. Alright, that's all I care about. Okay, 2 for 2. It sounds like we made our trade. You did good.
You didn't tell me there was going to be a trade.
Did you need to know?
Well, yeah.
Does it make any difference? You drive.
Yeah, well, that costs gas. Because there's damage to the car I gotta take care of now.
Did any of that come from the trade? Or did it come from me? Or did it come from you doing what I told you to do?
Came from you, telling me what to do.
Right. So you don't gotta know, do you?
I shrug. Guess not.
Did it make a difference? I'm asking, because if it made a difference, I can make it up to you.
I mean, I drove right through Bar's territory, so
And you knew that was going to happen, because that's what I asked you to do.
yeah.
You knew you were going through Bar's territory.
I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking of Lance. I think
What
I would assume that he knows that I refer to my car as a first person or in a
But
third
what I'm
person
saying
sort of
to
way.
you is what happened with these two, Hugo and Son, on the other side. Do you want me to start telling you these things?
A moment of silence as he thinks it over. Haven't cared now. Haven't cared before. Why should I care now?
Good man. You'll get your payment tomorrow. I'm still waiting on a couple things to come through. But it'll happen in the morning.
Right on. Get back in my car.
Okay. All right. And Tao leads the two away into his building.
I don't drive off immediately. I talk to my car as if though it can hear me. It's
Okay.
sorry, I tried. Like, you know how he is sometimes. Just have to suck this one up like the rest of them, I suppose. I'll make it up to you. I promise. I promise.
And as you shift into gear to leave, there's a little bit of resistance, but it gives way.
All right. He's low on gas. I get it. I get it. He doesn't like it when he's on an empty tank.
All right. So, what's Domino up to?
That evening,
We haven't checked in with the voice in a while, have we? So yeah, so we don't know what the voice has been doing all day. We know what Cam's been doing all day. We know what Domino's been doing all day, and we know what she's gonna do that night. But we don't know what the voice has been doing all day.
Probably the same thing that he's been doing earlier, going around trying to figure out what happened, why those two kids were killed. I mean, it's a cult leader, very protective of its cult.
Okay.
So at this point, I think that maybe during that period of time while Cam was out driving around and Tao was waiting near the gates, he paid a visit to Tao's building to see if there was anyone there that he could question about what happened.
Well, the people you'll meet at Tao's building are Tao's, his gate guards. He's got a couple bouncers, a doorman he calls them, but they're armed and they don't hide it, and they look at you coming.
Okay.
And they're uncomfortable. They don't like that you're here, but they say, "Yeah, what is it?"
Okay. Well, I mean, obvious thing to do to say to them is, "Let me in." And this is almost certainly a manipulate.
Okay. Make the roll then.
10.
Roll a 10. Gosh. And they say, and they say, "Let you in. Why would we let you in? What's it worth to us?"
You let me in, and I won't tell the cult that you two are the ones that ordered the attack on those kids. They'll come and they'll rip you limb from limb.
And one of them looks a little green. He kind of pales at this and says, "All right, but you know that wasn't us, right? You know, right?"
I know.
And he opens the door for you.
All right. So I go in. What is Tao's building like? Is there anyone there aside from that would normally be there aside from him and his guards?
Let's see. So Tao's got normally there would be him, his guards, whatever he's got going on that night. Who else would be there? No, that's about it. I mean, Tao doesn't really make attachments. He doesn't like have a wife or anything.
All
He
right,
doesn't have
so
a kid.
there wouldn't be necessarily anyone there to talk to. Would there be places that would be worth searching? Does he keep some sort of office or books or anything about the kind of crazy business he runs around town?
Well, he's definitely got an office, and that's going to be on the second floor along with his room. All the guards are downstairs. There's only 2 floors to the place.
Well, in that case, I guess that the voice goes upstairs, carefully knocks on the office door to make sure that nobody is in there, and then enters it.
Okay. Do you wait at all to see if there's a response from inside?
Oh yeah, I wait long enough to make sure that
Okay.
there's not going to be somebody in there who's going to just straight up kill me.
Okay. Because you hear Tao's voice from inside say, "I'm a little busy. Not now. Come back later."
Yeah, I still open the door and go in.
All right. So Tao's there. He's in there. He's with a couple of people you've never seen before. One of them's wearing a hoodie. One of them's this bald girl, just kind of chewing on her fingernails. And he says, "Who let you in?"
Your guards.
I don't give my guards much longer. Get out. Get out now.
I heard. No, I would like you to answer one question first, and then I'll leave.
Let's see. All right, so make your manipulation roll.
Okay. Man, I'm going to be rolling this a lot this game. Alright. Let's see here. That's a 7. Barely.
Okay. So on a 7. So let's see. Let's see. On a 7 to 9. Okay. All right. It says. So he says, "One question, you'll leave."
That's right.
It says, "Well, you can leave now, and you can ask it through the door."
And if I don't leave now and ask it through the door?
And he cocks the gun that he's got, and he raises it. Then, well, that's up to you.
Good enough reason. So I leave the room and I close the door. And through the door, I ask the question, "Why did you kill those kids?"
Oh, okay. And you hear laughter from behind the door, and it says, "Those kids? You mean what was their names?" And he stumbles for a second. What was it? Air? Wrath? Something like that. Those kids?
Yeah, those kids.
Well, they were caught stealing.
What did they steal?
It says, "That's not the question I promised to answer you."
All right. There's nothing left to be done here then. And so the voice just straight up leaves the building.
Okay.
Keeps its promise.
All right. So let's get back to Domino.
Yeah, take up position in Winkle's apartment.
Okay.
Wait for this dude.
All right. Based on the description that Winkle gave you, are you looking through the window or the people, or what are you doing? How are you keeping that watch? Are you like in the building at all?
Oh, I'm in the apartment.
Okay.
Waiting for him to come to the door. She said that he comes and stares at the door every night.
Yeah. Said she usually sees him through the window.
Okay. So he stands out on the street looking up at the apartment?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, look out on the street and wait for him, for the man fitting that description.
Okay. And you see him. He comes along eventually, and he does exactly what Winkle said. He's down there. He's looking up at the apartment.
What does he look like? Does he look like he's about to cause trouble? Does he look like he might be violent? Is he armed?
Let me try something here.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Give me 1 second. I gotta figure out who this guy is. Goodness gracious. Okay. All right. This kid. He looks like he might be bad news. I mean, he's got an ugly face, an eye patch. He's got this boxy haircut, and you don't like the way that he's looking at the door. He can't see you from you've got kind of the curtain drawn a little bit, and you're kind of looking behind it.
Okay.
He doesn't know you're there, but he's clearly got designs on this place or somebody in it.
Does he start to move away after a few minutes? Or does he stand in the street?
He looks at the window, and is there any light in the place?
No, I've got the lights off.
The lights are off. In that case, no, he does not move away. When he sees that the lights are off, and he waits a few minutes for something to happen, and the lights stay off, he starts to move toward the door.
Does my rifle have a laser sight?
It's got a scope. It says. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you gave it.
No, yeah, it's got the scope, but there was nothing about a laser sight. I'm just asking for flavor, because if it does, I want to point it in his eye so that he knows somebody's up here.
Okay.
I want to see how far this fool wants to push it. I want to see how much trouble he wants to get into.
So he, you point the laser sight right at it in his eye, and he yelps for a second, and he holds his eyes because that's a serious thing to do to a guy.
And he's only got the one eye,
right in
so
his eye. Right. And God, what was that? But he doesn't really know what just happened. He doesn't know someone was pointing a laser sight in his eye. All he knows is that there was a bright flash, and he can't see now for a second.
And what's his next move?
And he's looking wildly all around him, shaking his head, trying to get his sight back. He isn't going anywhere. He's just kind of standing out in the street, saying, "All right, that wasn't funny, punk. Come out and we'll see what you do."
Fire at his feet.
This seems like you're going aggro on it. If you're firing on a basically unarmed dude, yeah, you're going aggro. So roll.
I don't want to hit him. I want him.
No, I understand that. This is not an exchange of violence. That's not what going aggro is.
Gotcha. That's
Plus hard.
plus hard, but I use my plus cool instead. So that's
Okay.
an 11,
Okay.
and I get an advance.
So the shot goes off at his feet, and he yelps again, and he says, "Okay, I get your point. All right, I'm out." And he raises his hand and he backs away, not even slowly, but he kind of trips over his feet as he goes. But he's out of there.
He's out of there.
Yeah.
Do I have any possibility of tailing him?
You could. It's gonna be a little tricky
Okay.
because, and I would say that you're gonna be doing it under fire
Okay.
because he knows someone is threatening him.
Right.
And so he's very, very on the lookout for threats right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say you can try and tail him under fire.
All right. So what kind of roll is that?
Because it's doing something under fire plus cool.
Plus cool. Awesome. I like plus cool rolls.
Yeah.
Plus cool I can do. That's a 10.
Ooh, okay.
I'm
All right,
rocking
so
these advances.
so he's very shifty looking now, and he's got his own weapon out, which is it's nothing fancy. It's basically just a nasty looking K-bar knife. But he's got it out, and he's looking shifty all around him, but he never quite catches sight of you. So you can tail him to wherever you want to go.
I want to see where he's going back to. My goal is to find out whether he's acting on his own or whether he's reporting to somebody.
Okay. All right. So what you tail him to this kind of it's kind of like a bunkery type of thing. Was at one point just a normal apartment building. It's been reinforced. It's got steel doors now. It's got it's got boarded up windows. there's a person looking out who recognizes him and lets him in.
Okay.
He's definitely part of something bigger. You can tell that much just by looking at him. At the
This
situation.
be where I would read a situation?
This is definitely where you read a charge situation.
Yeah, let's do that. What is that roll? That's sharp?
You think so? Yeah, plus sharp.
That's a 10.
Not bad. You get to ask 3 questions off the list.
All right, let me get the list here. That's page 33. All right. Who's in control here?
Give me a second. Anytime, like, we're establishing so many NPCs, and I'm writing them all down, but I have to figure out who they are first.
I've been there, yo. I've been there.
Yeah. Let's see.
Why do you think so many of my tavern wenches are buxom women with red hair?
The person in control of this building is a young lady named Enough to Eat.
Enough to eat?
Yeah, you've seen her around. She's a very heavy-set, serious lady, with a crazy stare that means trouble for anyone it settles on. And it settles on a lot of people because Enough to Eat has very, very roving eyes. She sees you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying right now, but like you pass her on the street and her eyes are going to fix on you.
So what's my best way in?
Let's see. Your best way in this place is going to be through one of the windows on the side. It looks like the recent kind of acid rains have chewed through one of the siding that's supposed to be barring this window, and it's not really barred apart from that. They haven't really gotten around to replacing it. Maybe they haven't had time, maybe they haven't noticed, maybe they haven't been able to afford it. But one of the windows is not as well guarded as the other, and that looks like your best way in.
And what's her true position? This Enough to Eat.
Mm-hmm. What's your enemy's true position? Enough to Eat, you know, lets her gang do the fighting for her most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Her true position is going to be holed up inside of that building, surrounded by her people. She will put them in front of her in any firefight that breaks out.
Okay. My goal tonight, then, is going to try to get my hands on one of Enough to Eat's people out and about in the street where I have the advantage. In an alley behind a building, somewhere dark and unpleasant where I can start getting answers about her and what kind of threat she poses to Winkle's building.
Okay. So what you'd want to do, I guess, is hide somewhere and wait for one of her people to leave and then tail them?
Yeah, that sounds good. My goal is twofold. On one hand, I want to fulfill my promise to Winkle. On the other hand, though, I want to see if there's something bigger here that I need to pass up the chain to Tao.
Gotcha.
There's something he needs to be made aware of.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. So you've already read the sitch. You can't read a sitch twice.
Right.
Doesn't seem like any of the moves really apply here, unless I would say. So what do you do?
I hide and see if any of what kind of people are coming and going.
Okay. Roll plus cool.
Again with the plus cool.
Because I'm going to say you're doing this under fire, and the fire is you get noticed.
It's 11.
Okay. You definitely don't. No one spots you. You hide in a dark alley, and after a while, you see not the same guy, You're not even sure who that guy's name was. But there's two other people leave the thing, and they go down the way about a block, and they split up.
Pick whichever one looks smaller, easier to take to the ground, if it comes to that.
Okay.
And when I see he's alone, I will approach him, but not covertly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll approach him with an extended hand, friendly-like, you know.
Okay. Okay.
I'll start the conversation by asking if he knows who I am.
Okay, so you follow this kid who's a tiny rash man with a hollow look, and he seems fragile. He seems unusually fragile to be a member of Enough to Eat's gang.
Okay.
And he seems like a good bet to muscle some information out of it, if that's what your angle is here. So you start out with what?
Starting out with a very friendly demeanor.
Okay.
Doesn't need to come to violence right away, but I'm asking him if he knows who I am.
And he jumps as you introduce yourself, and he says, "Yeah, I know you are. Everyone here knows who you are. Tao's girl."
And I nod.
What do you want? What I can do for you?
I ask if he can arrange a sit-down with Enough to Eat. I'd like to have a friendly chat with her.
Hmm. And at this he seems nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go ahead and make your persuasion roll, because it sounds like you're trying to do.
Is that a hot? Is that a hot roll or?
Yeah, I believe that's a hot. Wait, persuasion is hot.
Okay. How hot am I today? 13. Damn.
All right. So he says, "Yeah, I can do that. But listen, everyone knows who you are. You're not going to hurt her, are you?"
I say I have no beef with Enough to Eat.
It's okay. It's just if it's just talk, then yeah, I can do that. Let's go.
And I.
Oh wait, and he says, "I just got to do a thing first, or she's gonna be mad."
I ask him how long it's going to take.
Not long. I'll be back real quick. Just gotta go do a thing.
Then I tell him I'll wait for him outside of at a landmark near her building. I don't want to be seen loitering right outside her door, but a nearby intersection.
Okay.
And give him a time limit.
And
say I'll see him in 30 minutes.
Okay. He's back real quick, like he said.
Okay.
He's back in 5.
Oh.
And he's got a black eye.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I express concern for his well-being.
It says, "Yeah, it's okay. Didn't think it was gonna go like that, but yeah, don't worry about me." Hey, let's go see her. You want to see Enough to Eat, right?
Absolutely.
All right, yeah, follow me. I'll get you in. And he extends a hand.
And I look at his hand. I'll shake it.
Name's Lala. Good meeting you.
Lala?
Lala, yeah. As in Lolo and Lala, yes.
Okay, so Lala is Enough to Eat. Enough to Eat's Rat Boy. That's what I'm typing on the sheet.
And he takes you back to the compound, and the guard posted outside, the one who let the dude in earlier, seems a little surprised to see you because he knows who you are and he knows what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But Lala vouches for you. Says it's cool. We're just gonna talk. And he nods and he lets the two of you in.
Yeah, and give the guy that the one from earlier, give him a very friendly smile.
He just nods. I mean, Lala's vouched for you. That's all he cares.
Okay. Then let's have a sit down with the fat lady.
All right. Enough to Eat is sitting down on a couch. Lala takes you through a couple of rooms. You would have had to go deep into this place to get to her. But Lala brings you there. no issues, and she is sitting there on the couch, watching a TV. It's an old tape that she's watching.
It's very extravagant.
And she's laughing and pointing at the screen, and a couple of her people are with her, and they're laughing with her.
Go in and wait patiently to be introduced.
Yeah, and Lala walks in and clears the door and says, "Hey, boss, I got someone here for you." And Enough to Eat looks over, and she says, "Lala, what happened to your eye?" And he says, "Oh, they didn't take to it too good." And he says, and Enough to Eat says, "Fuck that! Everyone get up!" and everyone gets up at her word. And she says, "Grab your things. We're going." What do you do?
Does she give any indication that she's noticed me in the room whatsoever?
No, she has so far has only had eyes for Lala's eye.
Then I step in and ask, before you attend your business, if perhaps I may have a word.
Later. We got more important things to do right now.
Then I ask if I should set an appointment. Should I come back in an hour?
And the Enough to Eat looks at you funny and says, "We don't make appointments. What do I look like, a business lady?"
She doesn't look anything like a business lady. Like, I'm picturing, like, Honey Boo Boo's mom. Right? Like, we're somewhere between that and Jabba the Hutt.
Maybe a little less than Jabba the Hutt. Maybe a little more toward Honey Boo Boo's mom. But, I mean, like, she's no joke.
Okay.
Like, she's a fat lady, but she can take care of herself. She can hold her own.
Then I hold my hands up, defer to her for a moment, let her go about her business, but I want to follow her gang and watch what happens.
Okay.
I want to see whatever's about to go down.
Right. And so she keeps shouting as she goes through, everyone up now, on me!" And everyone comes. Everyone. I mean, like, she doesn't even leave the guard at the front door. That's how pissed she is right now.
So, 2 questions.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess one isn't going to come into play yet, but the guy that was harassing Winkle's building is going to the fight, right?
Oh yeah, he's there with him.
Okay, so once it goes down, if it looks like I can take the shot during the fight, I will take it and put him out. If it looks like I can do it without being noticed, like make it look like somebody on the other side did it.
Now that's going to be hard because the weapon that you use. I mean, assuming that you're talking about your sniper rifle.
Oh yeah, Birdie.
The weapon you use is quite distinctive, and it's going to leave a distinctive a shot.
Okay.
You know, like the exit wound from a sniper rifle is from your sniper rifle especially is bad.
Is monstrous.
And it's way worse than any of the things that these guys are bringing, which is mostly like a couple of them have guns, but most of them have the kinds of the K-bar knives that the guy used to have.
Okay.
1 or 2 of them has a bat. Enough to Eat herself has what looks like it's a Magnum.
Okay. Can I get a hold of one of these knives? Because she said leaving the place on guard. Can I just slip one without being noticed as I walk out of the building onto my person?
Yeah. There's literally nobody stopping you.
Then do that.
Okay.
So the plan is still the same. If in the chaos I can manage to shank this guy or throw a knife at his neck or something similar, do that.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you what happens.
Okay.
You follow this gang who are apocalyptically pissed that someone has done harm to Lala. And they kick down the door of this establishment, and you see 2 or 3 guys inside who were in no way prepared for this kind of reprisal.
Right.
And shit just jumps off immediately. This is your chance to act, and you're gonna be doing it under fire.
Okay.
because, and then the fire is that someone will realize that it's you who's shanking him and not one of the enemy combatants.
You
So
know
go
what?
ahead and roll that.
Under fire is fine with me.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
There's one thing I can do. That's I'm gonna re-roll that one. That one's catty corner. Get it off of Velma there. That's an 8.
Okay.
I'm at 6 asterisks now.
Oh, when you reach the 5th one,
Okay.
erase all of them, and advance.
Do you want me to do that during the session? I'll do it during somebody's next turn.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're probably going to end the session on this.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, short session, but you know, it's just the introductory stuff.
So that's an 8.
Okay. Give me one moment here. Okay. You do it. You get the knife in. But somebody from the enemy gang sees you,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, "Boss, we got help."
Oh God. How many are in the enemy gang? Because you said it was 2 guys who were in no shape for receiving this reprisal. Were there like more in a back room that came swarming out?
Yeah, there was like 2 more guys.
Okay.
Enough to eat got off shot, blew one of the heads off right away.
Whoops.
And then there were 4 left, and they were left to like try and defend themselves against the oncoming swarm as best they could. Fortunately, they had you helping them, and they were extremely grateful to see this.
Well, not exactly helping them, but how many people on Enough to Eat side noticed that he shouted out they got help, and here's Domino shanking this fool?
Oh, like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
No one saw you slip the knife in. None of their team saw what you did.
Okay.
All they know is someone on there said, like someone on the other gang said, "We got help,"
Well,
and you were there.
I'll clean that up later. I'll worry about smooth talking Enough to Eat later if she comes after me. Once Winkle's admirer has been shivved, I will slip out any way that I can.
Okay. Yeah. No one sees you go. And besides, Enough to Eat, you know, she clearly has one priority, and it isn't you, and it isn't any help that supposedly does or does not exist.
Okay.
It's eradicating these fools from the face of the earth.
Well,
right now.
I guess I'll read in the papers tomorrow whether fools got eradicated.
So yeah, you're gone.
Yeah.
And what do? Do you go to Winkle?
No, because she's doing a job for me tonight. I'll meet back up with Winkle tomorrow.
Gotcha.
I don't have anything else to do tonight, so I will return home and feed the cat.
All right. That's the end of your day.
Yes.
Let's see. Cam, what do you do?
I gotta fill my car up with gas again.
All right.
Bullshit.
How are we going to pay for that? Because Tao didn't pay you tonight. He said it was coming tomorrow. How are you getting? So either how are you like? So I have 2 questions for you. One, how are you paying for you guys tonight? And if the answer to one is I'm not. Second question, how are you getting Lance home?
Well, let me ask this. I'm assuming gas is a very precious resource in the post-apocalypse.
Not so much as you'd think. There's plenty of it. Like the apocalypse world mantra is enough guns and enough gas and not enough of anything else.
Okay.
But it's controlled. You know, you don't control the gas. You
Right.
control the cars.
I can. Okay.
Someone wants to see. When someone wants to be driven someplace, they go to you. But you want gas, you go to somebody else.
Well, okay. So, well, I need to take care of Lance. Like,
Okay.
that needs to happen. So, I will pull up to a station and I will fill my car. If I can.
There's no such thing as a station.
Okay, then.
There's a man who has cans of gas and he stockpiles them. Any place he can get them.
Even better. I will go to my regular guy then, I assume.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go to my regular guy and see if I can't barter my way into getting some gasoline.
Okay. Your regular guy is a lady named Ula.
Ula?
Yeah, and
All right, I'm gonna write that down.
Slick back greased hair and a leather jacket and a lot of gas.
Cool. Ula. All right. Yeah, I go up.
And she looks eager to see you because she is your regular gas girl.
Mm.
She's always welcomes business you bring to her.
That's good. I say to her, yeah, I know I was just here yesterday, but work. I sort of give a sort of play shrug, like, work.
She laughs, says, "Tow's running you ragged, huh?"
Something like
And
that.
she looks out at Lance, says, "See, he's been working you pretty hard."
Yeah, had to run through Bar's territory, and you know how that is, right? Like, he's talking to her like he's taking a conversational office tone, which is of course sort of awkward and inappropriate, but
yeah,
that's just how he is. Like, this is forced socialization for me.
and she walks over to Lance. She puts her hand on the hood. Says, "Aw, poor baby." And she looks you over and says, "Seems like you came out okay, though."
It's more than I can say for Lance and the passenger.
Shame about that, poor Lance.
Mm.
But you need. But I'm seeing that your tank's on E, isn't it?
Yep, you're right about that.
Well, you know what I need. So, are you trying to look? So you can't really buy from her.
Right. I'm going to try and persuade her that if she gives me gas now, I will pay her back when Tao pays me
right.
for the work today.
Roll that hot.
Roll that hot. Sharp instead of... Okay, so I will roll hot. Am I in the car? Do I get the car bonus? Or
You're
am I
not
out
in
of...
the car.
I'm not in the car?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Ula does not conduct business with people who sit in cars. Ula conducts business with people who walk up to her doorstep and knock on her door and say, "I need some gas."
All right. That is 8.
Okay. So she looks at you skeptically and says, "Honey, I know Tao's good for it, but I don't deal in promises. I deal in barter.
I know.
If you don't have some kind of collateral you can give me right now, then I don't have any gas for you."
What would you like as collateral?
She looks you up and down. Says, I could be persuaded to make some alternate arrangements."
But what'd you have in mind? I'd like specifics.
"Got clean sheets tonight. Want to help me dirty them up?"
Sort of stares at her blankly, completely missing the innuendo. Sure, I can do laundry. That's fine.
And she chuckled and said, "I'm talking about the opposite of laundry, honey."
He sort of tilts his head. Hmm?
And she waves you inside. Says, "Come in here."
He follows along.
And she says, "I got a can of gas for you right in my bedroom."
Great! That's fantastic.
And she leads you inside. She leads you over to the bedroom,
And we have fun?
and you have fun.
Okay.
Now, this actually, so you're having sex with an NPC.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to roll on this because uniquely your sex move triggers with an NPC.
Do I add anything to it? Let's see.
I can't hear you.
Plus cool. Instead of cool, no, nothing. So
Yeah, I'm looking at
this isn't under fire, is it?
No, there's no threat going on right now that you have to. You're having sex under fire.
It depends on how kinky it is. Like, if he walks into her bedroom and she's got, like, whips and a saddle, that's a little
it's
different.
a 6.
Okay, so 6. Let me look at something here.
Bad.
Oh yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Um,
Give yourself a -1 to your HX of them on zeros.
no, but you don't have history. So, what happens is you have a -1 ongoing to all your rolls until you prove that they don't own you or anything.
Alright, I think Lance is jealous then. Is that what's going on here?
I don't care what you think.
Yeah, that's
but
totally what's going
That's
on.
what it is.
Alright, we'll make a note of that.
And so she says, you know, after it's done, she says, "I knew I could get you to come around. I got your number, kid. You'll always come to me for gas, and you'll always come to me for the other thing."
Yeah, no, I look horrified, and I feel as if though I have betrayed Lance, my car.
All right. So I'm gonna say that's definitely the end of Cam's night.
Alright, so
How does the voice wrap up the night?
So I imagine that the Voice's followers are mostly into partying during the evening, but obviously they all have to congregate to get their drugs and listen to whatever he has to say to them for the evening. And tonight, the Voice informs everyone around it that those 2 kids who were our friends and followers, they were killed for stealing from Tao. And one of the rules is that you cannot steal where we stay. These people are kind to us and put up with us, and that means that you need to leave them alone. For now.
And
I
Princey
will take
speaks up,
care of the problem.
and Princey speaks up and says, "What did he steal? Can we have
I
it?"
don't know yet. I need to discuss this with Tao further.
And they say, well, that's weird. We all been through their stuff. We all divvied it up. We didn't say anything weird. If you're holding out on us, Voice, then we want to know what they took. You're not keeping it for yourself, are you?
You know that I would never keep something so important to myself. I share everything with you that is important.
Well, all right. I mean, I guess you're the judge of what's important and what isn't, but I want to know what they took.
I want to know that too.
Wait, then you don't have it?
No.
Who does?
I told you I need to ask Tao. He told me that he was the one who killed them, but he didn't tell me what for. Just that they stole.
And Look seems skeptical at this, and she reiterates, well, "Boss, we all been through their stuff. I mean, look, there's let's see here. There's Monk over there wearing a shirt. There's Harrow, got the barrettes on. But we didn't see anything else that they shouldn't have had."
Maybe they hid it. I don't know. We'll have to find out what it is. But until then, don't cause trouble. Unless I tell you to.
Let's see. I'm trying to. This might not be a rolling situation. They might just take it.
If it is a rolling
not.
situation, it seems like it would be a frenzy, but they're already my followers.
Right. What I'm trying to figure out is if this is a manipulate situation.
It might be if they so strongly believe that there's no reason why.
They really don't, because what they said to you is
maybe
true.
maybe this is a manipulate. Maybe this is a manipulate for them specifically.
Yeah, we'll call it manipulate for the whole. Oh well, no, let's just call it manipulate for Princey, the one who spoke up.
Okay.
She was the one.
All right.
She was the one who went through their things and divvied it up amongst the rest of the cult. So Princey took stock of their belongings.
All right, time for a roll then.
She does not believe right now.
So that is a 13.
Yeah, that's an 11 on die, which is all you need.
Yeah, I know. They're totally convinced. They're
Okay.
obviously convinced. I hope.
But and your promise that you're exchanging them, if I'm understanding right, is that you will get more information.
The promise is that I
from
will
Dow.
find out what happened.
You're going to find out what actually happened. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so that's going to be the next session. Is we're going to try and get Cam out from under Ula's thumb. We're going to try and figure out what's going on with Winkle and the and Enough to Eat's gang, and we're going to figure out what exactly is Tao up to. And that's one day in the life of Apocalypse World.
Tao better pay. Oh, he better pay.
Tao always pays. Tao's good for it.
That's what I'm hoping
I'm sure
for.
he's gonna pay in different ways too.
So, as far as my advancement, I have a question.
Okay.
Does a form-fitting catsuit count as nearly naked?
I have to think about that for a second. I'm gonna say no, because there's no skin showing. There's not much hidden either, although apparently there's enough hiding places on the skins for you to have infinite size. But I'm gonna say no because there's not actually any skins.
Then, as far as my advancement, I'm going to take a +1 sharp.
Okay.
So my sharp is now at 2. Otherwise, I was going to take the impossible reflexes, which gives me armor as long as I'm naked or nearly naked. But the zero suit doesn't count. Even though that shit leaves nothing to the imagination.
No, it definitely doesn't. But it's also not nearly naked.
Also, because I'm not totally ridiculous, I'm not wearing heels. That's just stupid. Like, there's lines I won't cross. I enjoy this system a lot.
Yeah,
This is kind of a fast and furious kind of system. So, does it work like once you go, when you improve, you go through the whole top box before you can take anything in the bottom box?
You get 6 top box improvements, and then your 7th can be... Well, it's either your 6th or your 7th. I'm pretty sure it's your 7th. Can be from the bottom box.
But after that 7th, you're over. No more?
No, you can still improve after that.
Okay. Yeah, I like the system a lot.
Okay.
This is my first indie tabletop game in many years, actually.
Yeah, I've known this has existed for a while now, but I've never actually played in the game.
I've only, before Nick offered to run it, I had only heard it because Nodal would say, like, remember that one time in Apocalypse World? And then he would tell some bizarre story.
Nodal's Apocalypse World story is pretty good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't give you your pumpkin seeds yesterday.
You stole them all.
She just came in here and gave me this look. So next week, unfortunately, Nick is not going to be available to run Apocalypse World.
Nope.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a one-shot, one more one-shot module. Let's see, was there anybody else in chat who wanted? I think LSR said he might want to play. I might contact him. He's in chat. I'll just ask. LSR, do you want to play next week, yo? Since they'll have space for a couple of viewers to do a one-shot 5th edition D&D game. Steve, would you like to play a one-shot next Sunday?
I cannot because I will be traveling next weekend.
So it's just going to be me and LSR all alone.
Yep.
But after next week, I'm going to do a one-shot. Then after that, Nick's going to run a couple more sessions this Apocalypse World. We'll see how many people we can stab. I would like to stab a lot more people. Okay. So yeah, LSR is up for next week. So yeah, we'll do a mishmash of viewers and regulars next week for a one-shot 5e D&D game. All next week, starting Tuesday evening on this channel, I will be playing a boatload of Legend of Zelda games. Starting with Wind Waker and moving on to Zelda 2 and then moving on to Link to the Past. And as a donation incentive, if you guys want to force me through Twilight Princess, that will be an option. Please don't, though. Please don't. No, LSR, that's all you need. If you have a good microphone and mumble and tabletop, you're good to go. I will get with which players, because I only want 6. Any more than 6 and things explode. I feel like Apocalypse World, though, because it seems like a much more story-driven, like a much more character-driven game, I would not want to run something like this with 6 players.
No.
I think this one tops out with like 4.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit glad that Nodal couldn't show up because since we had to go from character to character so much, leaving 3 people in the lurch while one person did their thing is a
yeah.
But I'm okay with 3.
No, this is working really well for me. I like this. I'm considering hunting down a copy of this book now to have in the library.
Don't yet, because there's about to be a second updated edition that's coming out like this month or next month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
No.
Yeah, I could not find a copy for love or money, and then I found out why. Because it's out of print while they do the new edition.
Then yeah, I will definitely pick up a copy of the new edition. Nick, really thanks for introducing us to this game and for running this. This has been a lot of fun so far. I apologize to everybody that I inadvertently rolled up one of the X-Men. I really didn't mean to. Steve, been a pleasure having you aboard. I look forward to playing some more of this with you in a couple weeks.
Yep, it's going to be fun.